What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Interview Studio at TIFF 2024 at the Cinema Center, brought to you by Range Rover Sport. I'm so excited to dig into Daniela Forever. I've got many, many questions about how you all pulled this off, but first I'm going to say congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so clearly I know what your film is about, but because we're at a film festival, a lot of our viewers might not know Daniela Forever just yet. So, Nacho, I'll give you these duties. Would you mind giving a brief synopsis of your film?
A brief synopsis. Oh my God. It's never a good sign when the synopsis by itself a challenge. This movie is about this depressed guy drowning in grief who finds a way to meet his deceased girlfriend through a pill. And it's a pill that allows him to have immediate, crystal clear, lucid dreams. And he's dreaming of her in a way that is self-aware, in a way that it feels like an alternate universe. And this sounds horrible because it is, because if you are building in your mind the chance to meet your beloved one again, it's kind of easy that you start behaving like a god, which this guy is within his brain. So does it work?
I think you did
I'm
a really
always,
solid job.
I was looking for validation because I have this
amazing.
imposter syndrome all the time. No matter how old I get, I'm always just like looking at them.
I listened to your synopsis and I'm kind of like figuring out where to draw the line in terms of spoilers. There's so many things right now that I want to say that I know I can't. I know.
There's so many things going on in this film that you can spoil a lot of them. So because there's a lot of, it's a quantity thing.
From the mouth himself.
Yeah.
We hid some
It's
little
like-
Easter eggs in there for sure.
Okay.
Like we thought about like how to like make it a little bit more fun on the second one.
I like hearing that. Nacho, I want to come back to you really briefly because I was reading your director's statement and a pretty good chunk of it is about how you don't like seeing dreams in movies. And then you made a movie filled with dreams. For another filmmaker out
I have this kind of love-hate relationship with dreams because I barely have. I don't remember what happens every night. I barely remember like more than 3 dreams all my life. And I never had what you humans call a wet dream. I never had any of those. Sometimes the dream is driving me in that direction, but just before anything happens, you just wake up. So I have this. I hate dreams in a way.
Raging boner.
Yeah, he said that. And at the same time, in movies, I love when things spiral out of control and they go visually and thematically crazy, but everything gets reset because it's a dream. Mm-hmm. And since I'm a child, when I see movies, I want all the crazy stuff to happen for real, even if it's happening within the character mind. So I just found in this movie a way to make all dreams matter. Like,
I like that.
And everything that happens in his head, in a way, it happens for real.
For another filmmaker out there who might be apprehensive about incorporating dreams in their own screenplay, what is one do and one do not for having an effective dream sequence in a movie?
If you want to shoot dreams in your movie, make sure you have a dream cast like them.
Wow.
Is that a nice way to? Okay. Did it work? Did it work?
That was the best answer ever.
Okay.
Here's a fun dream question for all of you, kind of leaning into how this whole concept works. Let's say you could take the pill and build a dreamscape that reflects the movie of your choice. What movie would you pick and what might you explore in that dream?
Oh my God. Easy. Winky Wonka. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Winky Wonka. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
That sounds like
My
a
childhood dreams were
Spanish.
just enveloped with the idea of like going into that factory and just losing myself. So I think that would be my like a good one for me.
It's so hard because I watch sad films and I like sad films. So it's hard to think about a world. Maybe Harry Potter, you know?
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, that's nice.
I don't
It's
know
your
though.
choice.
I'm not sure. It's not my definite
Sad
answer.
films are okay too, because sometimes that kind of catharsis is just what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, Nacho. I know Nacho's got gold.
Okay,
right here.
so
Come on.
I need which movie I would love to dream to be
In the world.
Yes.
in the world. I would love to dream. I would love to be able to dream. Like I'm within a Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, because if Freddy Krueger tracks me and captures me and kills me, then it doesn't happen. It's okay because I'm a dream. I'm in a dream.
Yeah.
You know, I'm dreaming of dreaming within the
Dream
Freddy
within a
Krueger
dream
film.
within a dream.
So if Freddy Krueger
Inception dream.
kills me inside a Nightmare on Elm Street, but everything is a dream, nothing happens to me, so I can survive
So you
Freddy
have the
Krueger.
experience of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
but-
not Freddy Krueger.
Not
I want to
the
be the
effects.
victim. I want to be the victim.
yeah.
I want to be killed by Freddy Krueger within a dream. So I'm okay. So
Right,
that's
okay.
I'm.
That makes sense. No,
I don't know.
I
The
really-
movie,
My
the movie is
mind.
easier to follow. I swear.
Dreamception.
We are
Dreamception.
long overdue for another Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and I feel like that's a way to get at it while like being a little meta.
There you go.
Yeah.
I kind of want that now.
At the end, they just wake up.
The movie is easier to comprehend. I swear. I mean, it's not that complicated.
Yeah.
I leave I leave the convoluted stuff of the jokes in front of the cameras, but the movie is crystal clear. I swear.
To lean into that a little bit, when this script first comes your way, what were some of your biggest burning questions for Nacho, just in terms of who your characters were, but also how you would actually execute this ambitious idea?
I think for me, it was the fact that you're not quite sure through the movie. It's not really spoiling anything, but you're not sure if Nick is a good guy or a guy who turns into somebody not so good, for selfish reasons. And the reasons that you understand completely his motivations is because he's lost the love of his life, and the only way that he's being able to reconnect and given a second chance in a way is taking these pills, which gives him these dreams. But through the story, she slowly slips from his fingers again, and he does anything possible to stop that from happening. So he turns to kind of an interesting sort of choice of decisions that he makes.
Yeah, I feel like Nacho's vision it's very free, and it doesn't really follow any rule. At the beginning when I read the film, I was like, what's the tone of this film? How is it going to go? But then we all met together and we read it, and it was really funny. I realized how funny it was. Remember when we were doing the first reading, I was like, this is hilarious. And I love that because we're telling a very deep and sad story, but we're doing it through this sort of lightness and also absurd moments. And I really love to play that kind of fine line between doing something that was emotional, but also kind of uncanny sometimes. And I loved working with Nacho and with Harry. It was generally one of my favorite sets I had so far.
I'm going to follow up on working with Nacho. There was something in our press notes that really caught my eye. I think, Henry, you might have said this. When you first met Nacho, you were like super professional, but then the real Nacho comes out. So for both of you,
Oh my God.
I want to know the first moment you saw the real Nacho come out.
Let me tell you a story. Actually, I have a fantastic story. We're at dinner. We're at lunch, right? I have my family over. I have, at the time, she's maybe a 1.5-year-old daughter is with us, 2 years old maybe. And he plays this little joke. You know the joke where you get your thumb and you
dad
kind of do
joke.
this, right?
A dad joke.
And so he goes, "Oh, watch this," and he's like this. in the middle of the restaurant, and my child just bursts into tears, and he does it for like 15-20 seconds and does not stop until like his girlfriend's like, Nacho, you gotta stop. And he's like, yeah!
because she empathized with Nacho's pain. And he didn't care
I was just pushing his
I was like,
emotional growth of the kid. Like he needs to know about
2 years old.
human
He's like,
real. Yeah. Yeah. What is the real Nacho? Is the serious guy on day one, and the rest of the time I'm just like pushing myself to be funnier because I know that they are getting bored. I don't. You know what? You have this responsibility on set of feeling people like feel complicit with the film and active and everything. So I'm forcing myself to do this stupid shit. Because otherwise, I'm scared of them being
This was
bored.
off the clock, so it doesn't even matter.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the real Nacho is very vulnerable and serious. You know, that's the real Nacho.
I'm vulnerable. I mean, I'm vulnerable.
You're vulnerable.
Yeah. I'm super vulnerable.
But it's very deep. What you just said. I think what he just said is actually reflects the movie. Look, because it doesn't want to be boring and sad, and so eventually it's filled with great moments, and it's fascinating.
I feel like because you don't take making movies for granted. You don't, especially post-pandemic. Like, and if you are not, I don't know, you're not part of the aristocracy. Like you're fighting for making films, so you never know which movie is going to be the last one. I know this is gloomy, but when you're writing the stuff, you have that fear behind you, and you're like, okay, I prefer to show the most of me, all the possibilities of the story, rather than keeping one tone intact, because this may be your last chance to make people laugh, for example. So that is something that is like a survival element within you. Like
I love it very much.
That means that if I made Manchester by the Sea, maybe eventually someone farts, and I know that will be a mistake in that film. This is myself saying that I'm not the proper filmmaker for Manchester by the Sea. But in this other film, I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, there's no. I cannot. Maybe that's a problem, but it's time that I see the opportunity to fart, not literally, but in cinema terms, like a cinema fart. It's time there's a chance for.
Don't take it too seriously, right?
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway from this interview now is cinema farts and like A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Cinemafarts.net. Yeah.
That's somewhere that's going in the headline for this. Nacho, I did want to ask about one more thing that you said in our press notes, because I feel like it speaks to why I keep coming back to your films. You mentioned, I always impose upon myself to direct every movie as if it were the last one, just like you just said, as a way to maintain honesty over the mundane fears imposed by this industry. Can you tell me a specific mundane fear that you don't like, and how you basically said F it and did your own thing and made this movie purely your own?
I can go back to farts. Because a fart is like taking you away from this sense of elegance that it may set your movie in a better position. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you become responsible to the movie as a piece of your truth, rather than something that applies to a market or something transactional. Like you're not making movies for awards or for money. You're making the movie that comes from the inside. And that includes a lot of gas. That's part of the body. It's a body function.
If something is made to serve whatever we define as a market, I probably have no interest in it. So I prefer this route instead. I have to let you go. I do have to end on one unrelated question, because a simple favor too is high on everybody's mind right now. Yeah. And like when I think about that original movie, that mystery is just so incredibly extreme that I want to see more, but I'm sitting here thinking like how do you push it? How do you deliver more of the same, but then justify more?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, we shot that here in Toronto. That was like my first time in Toronto. It must have been 2018. But yeah, you take what everybody loved about the first one, which we didn't think, like, it found its audience and people loved it. It's kind of like Marmite in the UK. It's like you either loved it or you hate it. But we've had so many people just absolutely like die for it. The costumes, the drama, the mystery. So we took all those elements and made it bigger and better. And it just gets wilder and wilder and wilder. as the movie goes on. So you'll be pleased if you did enjoy it.
That is what I would expect, and that is what I need. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for sharing some of your experience making Daniela Forever.
Thank you so
Huge
much.
congratulations to everybody out there. Thanks for watching this interview. Stay tuned. So much more coming your way from TIFF 2024.